Hey angels, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. For all of my returning subscribers, hello, hi, it's Nee, and thank you so much for being here with me today. So let's jump right on into this. I know I get a lot of questions about dating, right? We all know this. That's why we're all usually here and working on ourselves as well. But someone wrote like a while back, you know, people always talk about what to look out for as like a red flag when you're dating someone. Let's talk about the green flags of dating someone. Yeah, like that's equally as important too. Why? Because we all know, really, for the most part, what we should be looking out for as a red flag, but I think it's important to address what to look out for as a green flag as well. But before we jump on to this video, you guys should know the drill by now. You need to follow me on Instagram at Aisha Christina Foster. Make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up because it really, really helps me. And the more you guys support me and the better that we grow and the bigger that we grow, because we are so close to 200,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. We have to celebrate. The better things are going to get for us. And the more that I'm able to do for you guys. And I have so many things that I have in store and ideas and things that I want to do. And so just so you guys know, you guys' support means the world to me and I'm eternally grateful. So let's get right on into this video. Number one, this should really go without saying. When it comes to knowing what to look out for as a good sign when you're dating someone is open communication. So this means being an effective communicator, which essentially is just someone that conveys their message thoroughly and also is receptive to others' input. So in layman terms, when you're having a conversation with someone, that dialogue is an even exchange, right? I'm sure we've all, encountered people where it kind of feels like all they do is talk about themselves and they have absolutely zero awareness that they haven't asked you a question back. Maybe their body language is weird. They're on their phone while you're talking. They're looking off into the abyss while you're... No. So someone that is able to talk, have some dialogue going, and they're also able to be receptive and attentive when they are engaging or speaking with someone as well. And also someone that allows you to express yourself without consequences. Yeah, this is a huge green flag because unfortunately, a lot of us have experienced people where they literally don't let us feel comfortable. They don't make us, I should say, feel comfortable enough to express ourselves without, feeling like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know how they're going to react. That's not safe and that's not healthy. So someone that's an effective communicator is going to make you feel safe to express yourself, whatever it may be, and not make you feel silly for whatever you want to share, no matter how trivial. Number two, their words and actions align. I know you guys know one of my videos. I don't even remember which video it is, actually. I genuinely don't know. Where I say, I don't know if I said something like words mean nothing, action, action, action. Because that is very true. People can say a lot of things. And I don't even actually really want to say that words don't mean anything. I don't even know if that is what I said, but words do have power. Yes. Because words have power, sometimes we as women, because we are emotional beings or more emotional beings, we tend to listen to things and not really realize that sometimes the actions don't align. So with that being said, yes, if someone's actions are aligning with the things that they say, boom, you're in the clear, you're in the gold. However, I believe personally that this does take time to assess because a lot of the times in the beginning, not everyone's gonna, show everything, of course, and there's like a goal. Everything is very exciting in the beginning. It's just about balance and it's about paying attention. It doesn't mean like, oh, someone's out to get you. It doesn't mean be overly analytical. It's just a simple data point to pay attention to. If someone's actions are aligning with their words, and a lot of the times in the beginning, they usually do. So it's also important to recognize when they don't and see how that person reacts to when, they don't, their words didn't align with their actions. For instance, if you're used to that person, giving you a good morning text daily, every single day, and then one day you notice that you're no longer getting that text message anymore. You realize it's 4 p.m. You have not spoken to this person at all. They probably checked in around, 6:30. Sorry, we're super busy at work. Okay, you may let that slide, but then you notice the next day, it just felt weird. It felt weird in your intuition. Like, ladies, always lean into your intuition. I always tell you guys this. Why? Because you can feel when someone is saying, oh my God, the day just got away from me. And you can feel when that feels like the truth, right? And then you can also feel when someone, you don't even know what it is. It's just something is off. And it's like, whenever things are off, it's going to breed more questions. So just keep that in mind. So I say that to say that sometimes, I'm not saying like have a super tough exterior or anything, but sometimes we just have to pay attention to making sure past the honeymoon phase that the words are aligning with the actions so that we're not kind of letting things slide because we are basing it off of the honeymoon stage in the beginning of the dating, with that person, which arguably, you can say can last anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, where you start to really see someone's behavioral patterns better. It's just a natural thing that you kind of pick up on. It's not like you're actually sitting there clocking like everything that an individual is doing, but just be mindful of that. Number 3, they encourage your connections. Huge green flag, huge, because sometimes, and this is, more on the scale of if someone is unhealthy for you or toxic, what they're going to do is they're going to isolate you from your friends, from your family, because eventually they can indoctrinate you with whatever they want and you will have no one else to turn to. This also means you should not feel any pressure to cancel your plans, to, be with this person. And that individual also shouldn't make you feel like if you happen to be busy and you're not able to make the plans that they set, that, well, you just don't know when you're going to see them again. They're encouraging those connections. Hey, you're, the guy that you're dating, or maybe even your boyfriend, they want to go on a date with you. But that day you promised your friend that you would go to lunch with her and catch up, right? You shouldn't feel compromised. You should feel safe telling him, hey, I would love to actually see you. I don't know how long I'm going to be out with my friend. Can we do something maybe later tonight? Or how about another day in the week? His response should be, oh, okay, sure, have fun with your girls. Instead of, maybe someone that's like, all right, well, don't say I didn't try and see you, or, all right, cool, have fun. We all know that have fun via text doesn't really mean have fun. Yeah, we know that. We're on to you. For both men and women, have fun never means to have fun. Yeah. And of course, with texting, a lot of things do get lost in translation a lot of the time whenever you're texting, an individual. So phone calls are always best, in my opinion, because you can hear the tone and how someone is saying something to you. And please keep this in mind, angels, that this is one of, I think, the biggest green flags. Someone that's encouraging your connections, because in the honeymoon phase, when you're dating somebody, it's like, it feels so good. It's just like all you want to do is just consume yourself with that person. And I get it. There's nothing wrong with that in the beginning, but there needs to be a healthy balance, when you have, do not give up your social life and the people that have been there before and may also potentially be there after, whatever the outcome is with that individual. Please keep this in mind, because too many instances I've seen in my life where some girls, they just throw away their entire friend group, whether it's maybe by their choice or maybe if they're in a dynamic where a guy is just so all-encompassing where you don't even realize it in the beginning, of course, that slowly but surely you have no friends anymore. And that is not healthy, because people in relationships need healthy relationships with other people that were pre-existing. It's not normal to just be engulfed all into any individual's world and not have some sort of individuality. Why? Because we are human beings, and after a while, when, you get the guy, you're in the relationship, and let's say you just want to go out with your girls or something like that, and you turn around and you have no one to talk to anymore. You're wondering what happened to all my friends. You don't want to be the girl or the guy that gets into a relationship, and every time you do, you disappear from all of your friends. And then you come around and realize that, oh, you feel left out of things. Why do you feel left out of things? Now you have a victim mentality and you're confused because you didn't realize that you literally disappeared for the entire duration of the time that you were with that individual. And only when things are maybe like, not doing well, that you want to now reach out to those connections. You don't want to be that person, because what that means is that you act on consequence. Oh, I'm bored now. Oh, we're not on good terms. Let me hit up the friends that I wasn't, engaging with like that before, and there's a difference between, reaching out to your friends, here and there. We all know the older that we get, when we get into relationships, that it's going to take a lot of your time, but there's a major difference between like completely disappearing. And I'm saying this to you ladies and gents, if you're watching, because it's not healthy to throw away your social life, when you're getting involved with an individual. It's not healthy. There has to be balance in everything. Sometimes you still hang out with your girls, and then your partner is able to respect those connections, okay? Yes, your partner should be able to respect those connections. Now, I will say this, as it pertains to friendships of the opposite sex, I do understand how that may make, someone's partner feel, a little weird, because, I'm a girl's girl, so I don't have many guy friends really at all. I mean, I can literally count on one hand, and our relationships are like, we don't usually hang out really ever. It's more of like, I'll see them like here and there, or we'll speak here and there on social media. It's not like they're my best friends like my girls are, So that's another thing to consider. Number 4, another green flag is your values and morals align. This should be organic, of course. This does not mean he loves, football. This is football season. And you're just like, oh my God, what's a football team? Oh my God. The Giants. Yes, I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know anything about sports, so please don't try to come for me. You love football, so he loves the Giants, so you love the Giants all of a sudden. I get it. When you're with someone, you want to like what they like, and oh my God, we're so similar. But don't pretend to engulf yourself in something that literally you don't even enjoy. I know for me, I'm very upfront. I've dated guys that they love sports and things like that, and I'm very upfront with them, and I tell them that, hey, like, I know absolutely nothing about sports, but, like here and there, maybe I may like watch it with you or something like that, but I'm not going to act like I'm so like in love with it too, because I want to impress that person. Because then once you get that individual and you feel comfortable to just be yourself, and you no longer want to watch, Saturday night football with him anymore, he can perceive that as, you've changed. Like, why do you all of a sudden not want to do this anymore? When really in your head, you're like, I never even really wanted to. I was just doing this because it was something cute in the beginning. So if your values on a grand scale and more general scale, let me say, if your values and morals align with that person, what does that mean? This goes beyond football, okay? So maybe that wasn't the best example. But what I mean by this is, he wants to get married one day. You know that you want to get married one day. How do they perceive relationships? Some people believe in lifetime partners. Some people believe in marriage. Some people believe in having multiple connections, whatever that means to them. Do your values align? You want to, have a big house. He just wants, something simple, because he doesn't really like big houses. You like, nice cars. He thinks it doesn't matter what you drive. That's not where he puts his priorities. Everybody has their sort of thing, right? And it boils down to having the same outlook on life to be compatible in the future with an individual, and your approach on life. If you're a spiritual person and this person doesn't believe in anything of that sort, that is not your values aligning, and you cannot change that individual. You're already coming from two different, faith-based sort of things, like the ideologies and how you guys live your life. That type of thing will greatly affect you. If you're someone that believes in affirmations and, believing and talking good things about yourself, but the individual that you are dating or with thinks that, they are the main source, and like they don't believe in any higher power, anything like that, that is something that will catch up to you and will greatly affect your dynamic and relationship with that individual. Your values and morals need to align. He can think, if you cheat once, it's not that big of a deal. Like, as long as like someone doesn't know. You could think, okay, well, I don't want to be cheated on at all. And I think that open communication is, something that we definitely need to always have, no matter how we're feeling. and he doesn't agree. He feels like, why talk about things? It's not that necessary. You don't have to discuss every little thing. You know what I mean? Like, these types of things really matter. You want to figure out whether or not you and that individual's values and morals really do align organically, not anyone changing to be what the other person really wants. Unless if maybe you feel that that is a genuine change that that person wants. Number 5, your relationship goals are compatible. Like I just said in my last example, you want, to be in a serious relationship that progresses into marriage. He doesn't mind being in a serious relationship, but he doesn't really know what the future holds for him. The person that I know is suitable for me is someone that's going to be able to dictate that to me without feeling weird for saying it or feeling like I feel that he's rushing to marriage. Like, I want you to say everything. I want you to lay it out on the table so that I know what it is that I'm working with, because this is about maturity here. Worst case scenario, you don't want what I want. And that allows me to be able to make the educated decision and the responsible decision to not waste anyone's time. You understand what I'm saying? Managing expectations and realizing, okay, I do like this individual, but hey, like, our values don't align. Sometimes that happens. I think where we get caught up a lot of the time is we try so hard to force ourselves to be with people because we like them so much that major things that don't align and our expectations and things that we want in a relationship, we're trying to force ourselves into that mold when that's not what you want. Respect yourself, and you will attract more people that do that same thing. When you have a boundary, you stick to it. Okay. And if you know that you are someone that wants to be in a relationship, don't put yourself in a position with someone that's like, I don't really know, I don't want to think that far ahead, because it feels good to interact with that person for now. And then 2-3 months go down the line, you ignored that data point. And then you realize, like, okay, like, where is this kind of going? And he's feeling like, I already told you I didn't really know. There's no pressure for anything. And you're thinking in your head, like, why am I even here? I shouldn't have did this and all this other stuff. Make sure that your relationship goals are compatible. Number 6, they respect your boundaries. Okay, huge green flag, of course, as we know. This means that they don't try to persuade you or convince you or guilt trip you into doing things that they want you to do, or engage in activities or things that you are uncomfortable with. Pay attention. This is when you pay attention to how do certain things or people make you feel, right? You're going to pay attention to that resistance. You're going to tap into that confusion and log it as a data point. Why do I feel like if I were to say no to this activity or voice my opinion about this, that this individual will try and persuade me otherwise? And there are people, unfortunately, out there that are like this, where they are just so all-encompassing and they don't care what you want to do as long as you're doing whatever they say. And there really are people out there like this. They genuinely do not care. As long as their needs are met, they don't care how you get it done. You're going to get it done and you're going to do whatever they want to do. And then they may convince you like, oh, you're boring. Oh, you're this, you're that. Like, a simple classic case of this would be maybe if you're someone that's in high school, or maybe not even in high school, but you're dating a guy and you're not ready to take it to that next level yet, and that individual's like, oh, you're prude. Oh, you're boring. Oh, you're a grandma. Like, trying to guilt trip you because they have their own agenda with you and they want you to feel like you're being stupid or you're being this or that because they want you to do whatever they want you to do. No, they're going to respect your boundaries and not try and sneakily be passive aggressive about it and bring up, this and that. Respecting your boundaries is like, hey, especially in the beginning, let's give an example of how someone can respect your boundaries. Hey, I prefer to do dinner at, 7:30, 8, because I like to be in bed at a certain time, or I am really like on my fitness goals and things like that. So I just want to make sure that I'm not like eating super late, something like that. I don't know. And that individual, a healthy response would be like, okay, no problem. So I'll make sure that we have dinner reservations for this, or I'll make sure that the places that we eat at are accommodating for your dietary needs, whatever the case is, okay? Not someone that's gonna be like, wow, you can't just have like this, like what you, wow, so it's that serious that you can't just eat it at 9:30 just for one time, like it's not that big of a deal. Like, of course there are going to be times where you do bend the rules, but in the beginning, it's a little too early for that. And you need to pay attention to how that person is making you feel and trying to convince you of why you should be changing your mind on something. Okay. And lastly, number 7, they make you feel seen, heard, and appreciated. Now, keep in mind, these are all basic instincts that I think a lot of us human beings are longing for in all of our interpersonal relationships, especially with our romantic dynamics. So you can fully be all of yourself without feeling like, and I can speak about this from experience. I mean, there have been guys that I've dated before that I can feel like I just cannot say everything that I want to say because they will make me feel stupid or like I'm making a big deal out of something, or just, there's just uncomfortability and there's resistance. Or when you like want to talk about something serious and that individual's always joking around, or if you find yourself expressing something that means a lot to you and that individual is, you know, like making light of it or saying like, they just don't make you feel like they understand you. I think that's something that's important to, you know, tap into from a balanced standpoint. You understand what I'm saying? You should be able to express yourself to your partner without fear of them making you feel any type of way about it. You feel like they are respecting the things that you say. You feel like they are listening to you when you are speaking to them, and that they're actually putting affirmative action behind things if change is something that needs to happen. So, for instance, if you are someone that says, you know, I don't really like or appreciate if you are constantly liking a bunch of girls' photos on Instagram, right? And he's like, it's just Instagram. Wow, like it's that serious to you? Like, okay, didn't know you took Instagram that serious. Without realizing that the principle of it all is I express to you something that bothers me. And I think that's a very valid issue as well. And this is something that makes me uncomfortable, and you're trying to justify it by saying, I take it so serious, it's not that serious, making me feel stupid, like, wow, Instagram, you're really gonna blow up over, or, you know, just deducing and minimizing, you know, me expressing my feelings. So of course, naturally, you're never going to want to express your feelings about anything ever again. Because if he thinks that's a little issue, then he's going to think everything that you bring up, you know, to the table is a little issue. And now you could find yourself in a dynamic where nothing you say is being respected or anything, because that individual, well, it's not a big deal to them, so it doesn't really matter. And as it pertains to all of your relationships, especially your you know, romantic dynamics, you know, with friends, there's a little bit more elasticity here and there. But when you're romantically involved with someone, you don't want to feel like, oh my gosh, if I say this, like he's going to think it's this or that. Like everybody wants to feel seen and heard. And I'm sure guys also don't want to feel like when they mention something that interests them, you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's nice. Like whatever. Like nobody wants to feel like that in life. So be with someone that's going to make you feel like you can just authentically be yourself. You don't have to walk on eggshells. If you express yourself, they're giving you an emotionally appropriate response. They're not gaslighting you. They're not trying to make you feel silly. They're not engaging in, you know, negative emotional responses to you when you feel like you are expressing yourself to them, you know? So just keep these things in mind, angels. Those are all the tips that I have for today of green flags that we should look for in relationships. What I want you guys to do is drop a star emoji in the comment section so I know that you have watched the entire video. I love you guys so much. And also make sure that you turn your post notifications on so that you're notified every single time that I post. Hello, today's Tuesday. You guys are here with me and I love you guys so much for it. So make sure that those are turned on. My podcast is coming out tomorrow, which is Wednesday. We got a new episode dropping. I'm so excited for you guys to listen to it. Every single thing that I'm wearing will be in the description box below. And also drop some comments down below for some signs that you guys think are green flags as well. This is a positive community. You guys are safe here. I want you guys to feel like this is the hug that you needed, and I want you guys to feel uplifted and encouraged. So do not forget that I love you and God loves you, and I will see you beautiful angels in my next video. Mwah.